Guys, there is fire on the mountain. Canada port of entry is getting hotter. Now, there is something that they are doing that might not be in the news, but they are really like clamping down on this thing, and they are not saying it. And that is airport deportation happening at the port of entry. Like, it is no longer funny. I witnessed by myself, and the news that have even been reaching me now is not funny. And main intakes are already coming in. Visitors are taking the heat as well. Temporary workers, you have like your legit documents, they are taking the heat. So in this video, basically, I'm just going to be addressing what is happening, what you need to prepare, or how you need to prepare for your port of entry, possible questions that you might get at the port of entry that can help your easy entry into the country. And like I always say, when I'm having this kind of conversation, it is better to be over prepared and you have a smooth sail into the country than to say, oh no, I want to just see this, but my friend, it did not happen like that. Sorry, your port of entry experience can be entirely different. Because one, is not one person that is attending to you. Two, even if the same officer attend to you, my darling, they can ask this person for one thing and they're asking another person for another thing. And the moment they sense anything, be sure that you will get additional questions. So you need to actually sit tight on this video and listen to everything I have to say. This shouldn't come as a shocker to us, given the recent updates about reducing temporary residents in Canada. So prior to now, temporary residents comprise of 6.2% of the population in Canada. Now they want to reduce it by 5%. At this point, it's looking like the Canada boom is over. Like, Canada is putting lots of structures and updates and rules in place to like reduce residents, and they started with international students. Now they've even brought everything together holistically to say, okay, temporary residents. And when you're looking at temporary residents is not just maybe visitors like you want to assume. So it's actually like a blanket umbrella. So temporary residents accommodate international students, it accommodates temporary foreign workers, that's under the temporary foreign worker scheme itself. It accommodates temporary foreign workers that are like workers on post-study permit, like spouses of international students, past spouses of temporary foreign workers, and like lots and lots of that. And also it includes asylum seekers. So all these people are temporary residents. So when they say they are clamping down on temporary residents, it's not just visas that you are looking at or thinking about. So in case you don't know, all these categories, these 4 categories that I just mentioned, are all temporary residents, and they are looking at ways of reducing these people. Like, temporary residents are over 2.5 million in Canada. They will even concretize the reduction by 4. Basically, so what they are trying to now do is to ensure like more thorough checks are being done, even at the application stages. Like prior to now, they said international students, not just when you want to gain admission, provinces need to like provide you with a letter, and also they've tightened that end. Like, even getting admission is not going to be easy. Then in submitting all your documents, there will be extra thorough checks at those points as well. What I want you to understand as well with coming into Canada is that regardless of whatever question you get asked, number one, you actually need to have your document handy. Let me give you gist. So when we were coming into Canada, right, last year, I got to the airport. Like I said, if you see my previous videos, how tired I was and all that about the old travel and everything. So we got to the airport. I was even really like looking for where to sit, and there was this guy that was being attended to. He's black. I don't know if he's Nigerian, but he's black. And literally the guy did not have what he had in his backpack were just laptop, shoe, cardigan, and everything. Documents that guy want to use is in his check-in luggage. Exactly. So he just thought he would just reach there, and it was with his passport. They would just say bam, stamp, and he would enter. So I know for some of you that you're experienced travelers and everything is looking like what kind of this thing is this one, and what does this lady take us for? But please, this thing happens, and some people have their document tucked away in their check-in bag. Some have incomplete documents. See, my darling, everything you use in processing Canada when you are coming, put everything in a clear bag and come with it. That's just how to know the document to pack. Because for document for a visitor visa is different from documents for students, it's different from document for PR. So I'm not going to focus on this video and start telling you, okay, this is the document to pack or this is not the document to pack. For instance, as a student, they might ask you for your receipts, they might ask you for your admission letter, they might ask you for your accommodation plans and arrangements. So the question that they will ask one is not the question they will ask another. So my point is, your document, have it. If, for instance, they ask you for your accommodation arrangement as a student and you say, oh yeah, okay, so for the first maybe 2 weeks I'm going to be staying in an Airbnb, and then afterwards I'm going to look at getting an accommodation, probably go to the school website, go to Kijiji, Facebook Marketplace and all that, this and they ask you for your Airbnb receipts. What are you then going to say? So you need documents handy. You say you're a visitor, they ask you for the hotel you want to stay, you don't have. Don't put your documents in your check-in luggage. Check-in is the one that you want to weigh and they will put label, and it's until they've passed through in immigration that you will meet the luggage. So your check-in luggage is not going to be handed to you when you are descending the plane. In case you don't know, now you know. So have your documents handy. Sorry, I'm stressing on that point. The very second thing that you need to have, be confident. My darling, see, as you stand, now so they go address you. Sorry, I'm speaking pidgin. It is how you stand. The confidence you exude will determine, the kind of questions you'll be asked. As funny as this thing is, those immigration officers, they are not using jazz, but this thing is perceived, it's perception. I know that some of us, are naturally timid. You're just like, the moment they're just even asking you questions, you're already shaky and all. This will lead me to my third point, which I will just merge it together and say, practice your story. If you need to practice your story, practice your story. Know your story and practice it and stick to it. Notice, know the story you want to tell. Practice it, particularly if you're a timid person, and stick to that story. So for people that you just gonna give one agent, just do everything for me, and this is, I know that some people have like their own unique reasons why they are giving the agent to actually work on the applications for them, but know the story that they've told on those documents. Those people standing in front of you at the port of entry, they know what you filled in your story. They have it like right there in front of them. So when they are asking you A and you're saying Z and your story is not aligning, they can see your lie right in front of them. So know the story that you're telling. What are you going? What's your purpose of visit? See, that's like a standard question. I will go to some of the questions they might ask you later in this video, but what's your purpose of visit is a standard question they will ask you. You should be able to tell them your purpose of visit without shaking about it. While we were entering and the black guy and all that didn't come with his document and was pleading, I want to carry my bag, I want to this, I want to that, there was another guy on this and they were asking him. He said he was there to work, right? So they were asking him, and it's quite not like old papa, but elderly, right? They were asking him what was his purpose of visit. He said, what was his purpose of coming to Canada today? And he said he's here to work. Which company? Oga or flight? How are you coming into a place to work and you don't know the name of your organization? Even if an agent arranged it for you, you did. What did you do on your how many hours flight? And funny enough, Canada is not near. It's not like, at least for most people, it's not like it's a 1 hour flight, right? Even to Mexico, it's 4 hours. So it's not like, oh, Canada is one place that I just opted, and before I opened my eyes, I was already in Canada. If you didn't even know the story before you left, you should at least read it on the plane. I want you to know the school you are studying in. I want you to know the company you say you want to come and work with. I want you to know the sites you say you want to come and visit. At least know 2 places. Oh, I'm coming to visit Canada. I love the place. This one, they ask you where you want to visit. Off flight. All these things send signals to say something is fishy about this person. So know your story. Whatever story you want to tell or you have told in your application, know it. Practice it, particularly if you're a timid person. Rehearse it, say it over and over again, and stick to your story. They will not get to the airport. When you are filled in your application, you don't know anybody in Canada. When you not get to the airport, you say you want to go and stay with your family, you're coming to visit, but you feel that you don't know anybody. Let your story align. What you have said is what you have said. I'm coming to stay in 2 weeks. That's what you put in your application. They ask you a port of entry. How long are you staying for? It became 3 weeks. Put in your application, oh, I already have my hotel built and everything. They now ask you for hotel receipts. It became I'm going to book it when I arrive. So where do you want to go and stay with this your bag now? My point is, whatever the story you have said, you have filled, know that story and stick to it, because that's the story that will fuel your question. Let me paint a scenario. Hi, what's your purpose of visit in Canada? Oh yeah, I'm coming for a visit. I want to. Okay, so where will you be visiting? I want to visit the Niagara Falls. I want to go for visit the Toronto Museum and whatever you said. And I ask you, okay, so where will you be staying for your visit? Oh, I already have my hotel booked or my Airbnb booked. They will ask you for your receipts. You see one document like that. Oh, okay, so how do you intend to move around, seeing that you have a visitor? Do you have any family members here? You say yes or you say no. You remember what you fill in your form. Oh, okay, so how do you then plan on moving around? Do you have some cash? Then you say, okay, do you have cash? If you don't have cash, also can I see your proof of fund? Printed bank statements. That's how you will need it. You show them. Then some will take it further, ask you to bring the app and they will see it. So you that you like flashing money, the money is not there, but you just quickly put it and put out. It's no longer getting funny. Then you say, oh, you guys, so how long are you here for in your visit? And you say 3 weeks. Then your hotel show that you check in today and you check out tomorrow. So they will ask you. So they won't even just jump into conclusion. Funnily enough, they will ask you, but your hotel booking says you're here from 10th of May to 11th of May. So how do you plan on staying for the rest of the week? What is your answer? Then some people off flights. That's where some people start thinking, hey, village people have catch me. Know what you want to say. Now that you are watching this video now, start preparing. By the time I get to some of the questions, but these are some questions. I've painted a plain scenario for you now for someone that came to visit. So this will help you to know what to prepare, how to answer your questions. For you that you book one, even though you already know you have somebody that you want to come and say, but why did you book only 2 days? Answer. And because at this point, some things that they'll be doing for people, you say you want to use 2 weeks, you ended up using 6 months, you extended and extended. You now want to come back into Canada, they might deny you. You meet another immigration officer, they might deny you because the initial time that you came and said you want to use 2 weeks, you ended up using all the time. And all these stories, the reason why you have to know your story, you have to align, is because whatever story you are telling now, you've told one story in your application, you've told one story in your point at the port of entry. By the time you need to further your application, probably okay, you came in as students, they've asked you, do you have money for school? You say yes. You have money for upkeep? You say yes. They've asked you everything, you say everything is fine, no, nothing happened. Then after you finish school, or before you finish school, you now want to seek asylum, say, hey, they are pursuing you, your village people do not want you to rest. Asylum does not, they don't answer like quickly. So it's not something that, oh, I seek today. If they say no, once you seek asylum, you cannot go another route. 2, asylum does not answer like ASAP. It can take so long. And at times, you might get permanent resident already thinking, hey, I've scaled through, you're throwing party. Citizenship time, they will revisit your documents. They will check everything from scratch as if you are a new applicant. That's where trouble Kasala used to boss. They will revoke everything if your story does not align. So you that you are self students, you have all the documents. Now you are coming for asylum. When they now come and carry your visa file, they see, but when you came, you said everything was fine. You did not remember that they were pursuing you. How is it now? They remember that they were pursuing you, and you now start crying, hey people, help me! Oh, hey, this one has been here. What will I do? Start playing the sympathy card. Remember your story. Stick to your story. Practice your story. Your confidence is very important because these people. It's just psychology. Once they see you have confidence, they might not ask you any question. Oh, what's your purpose of this? They start back. They will ask you to go. Like my own port of entry was even very easy. Funny how I came as PR. In case you don't know, now you're knowing. I came in as a permanent resident, so really They just asked me, okay, how are we doing? Can I have your COPR? So once you said, okay, what's the purpose of coming to Canada? They said permanent resident. So can I have your COPR? And they asked, okay, for your PR, card, where would they send it to? You provided the address, and that was it. Like literally, that was it. So, but some people's own is not that smooth. Don't use my own story to say, oh, this is the story. By God's grace, our story will be easy. Authority of business will rest upon us, but we need to actually prepare ahead. Then, just in line of this as well, be consistent. I said it before. Let your story here align to here. You say you don't have family, don't come and enter Canada and then later say your family want to come and stay at port of entry. Let your story be consistent. The very last thing here, speak the truth, because they will ask you by the time you've provided the information, particularly if you're coming in as a visitor or a student and all. They will ask you that is all the information you provided, are they the truth? And they will read to you implication of not saying the truth. And like I've said, all these things is not final because you have entered. By the time you are a permanent resident, by the time you are doing your citizenship application, they will revisit it. If you are a student, by the time you want your PR and everything, they will revisit it. So you don't want anything to come back and haunt you at any point in time. Now, I'll just highlight a few questions that you might get asked, whether as a student or as a visitor. Number one standard question that they will ask you is, what's your purpose of visit? They will ask you. If your grandma is coming, your grandparents, you are a student before, you entered before, maybe your sister is not getting married, you went back, you came back, they will still ask you, why did you go and come back? Your stories must align. You're a worker. Yeah, you were working, you had something to do, your wife gave birth, so you went home, ticketed for her, then you came back. Why are you by the time you're coming back, they will still ask you. So the reason you're coming to Canada is a fixed question that you'll be asked. You need to prepare for that question. Then the very next question, like depending on, of course, your scenario and all that. I remember when I went to have my seat while I was waiting on the queue, like the day we arrived, the queue was so long. I said that in my previous video. I'll put it here in case you want to watch like my entire video. But I remember I went to actually have my seat at some point, and I was there with a Nigerian lady really, and she just like came up to me and was like, do I understand English? How can I help her to connect to Wi-Fi? They now want to check her money. She doesn't have money. Her English she couldn't actually really communicate so well with those people. Now, English was the only language you wrote to IELTS. But those people where they carry results where, I understand. I won't say anything more than that. Now, the communication was an issue. So I asked her, like, really, why was she seated there and all that? And she was like, that was, she actually said in Yoruba, I was like, okay. So I now helped her to connect to the Wi-Fi. She was like, the issue is actually not even her connecting to the Wi-Fi. She was saying this, mixing Yoruba and English and all that. Like, it's not even connected to the Wi-Fi. She doesn't have the money. So she's trying to like call her people back home to like move the money in. That what do I advise? I don't even know. You need to touch the phone. You know how this happens something. Before you go and touch it now, they say your thumbprint is on something. So I say, be open by yourself. Do like this and that. But like, I was really extra cautious. But at the same time, they were asking for a statement. Now, even if they ask you for that statement and that money comes in, and you go and meet them that, oh yeah, you have been able to connect your Wi-Fi now and everything, they go as far as checking people's phones. Now, I know lots of people, there have been lots of controversy about this. Is it right? Is it wrong? Should they be doing this or not? I don't know about that. Like, you can drop in the comments what you think about going ahead to check your chats. But they can go as far as checking your chats. So when you are chatting with that people, yeah, just do it. Just say she's your wife. Just say she's your clinical. And you put it, he's there. They will see it. Oh, put it together. Find a way to this. They will see it. Please let me quickly send money inside this thing. Make I just pass this place. So when they ask you like, okay, do you have funds enough to like cater for yourself? Whether you're a student, whether you're mostly if you are coming on work permit, they might not necessarily ask you about your funds because they expect that you're going to be making, but they will ask you like, do you even have some money? But particularly if you're coming on visits, you're coming as a student, they will ask you for your proof of fund and they will ask to see it. One thing, you can have it printed. Some of them are very lenient. Once they check the printed one, they will let you go. But some will go as far as telling you to open your app and check it. So before you shadow that money, shadow it after you have passed. And check your charts. Check once you are coming, ensure that your phone is void of anything. It could just be that you even yab the prime minister, can it come, you've done one thing or the other. Just ensure that your phone is void of anything that can make you seem like a threat to the country. Because if they say whether it's even terrorist threat or anything, you have said anything defamatory or something, they can send it back. Another thing I also want to point out is be observant as well. So regardless of whatever it is, once you're getting very close and all that, you can even try to pay attention to the question they're asking. Like I told you about the guy and the man that I said was coming for work, and the guy that didn't have his documents with him. It wasn't like, oh, I was the one they were asking, but I was at least paying attention. What are they trying to ask these people? What's happening here? So because lots of people will not come and tell their stories or their woes, because people will, can start looking at them somehow and all this. So they might, like, people don't really come out to share these stories, but this is the way you can get like first-hand information. Like, see that lady that was asking, as was proof of fund issue, right? My point is, be observant. Don't just stay, they should just answer me, let me go. I'm thinking that, yeah, mobile, they can be there. Your people can be waiting for you at that point. So really be observant, see what they're asking. Oh, are they asking for this one? Try to put it forward. Your school offer letter, your payment receipt confirmation, your bank proof of fund document, put it together. At least I have those ones. I have a video about the first few things to do once you arrive Canada. I will link it here as well. Check it. It starts from like the airport, what you need done. So check it and have those things like very handy, because that is what will fuel out some of the questions that they will ask you. If you're coming on visit as well, they will ask you, so where do you want to visit? What was your plan? For this visit as well. Don't let the purpose defeat the purpose that you have said before. You ask for your purpose of visit, how long you intend to stay, the money that you have on you, or the money that you have, because lots of people will come in and then they want to start working under the table. That part don't cast. Some want to come on visit and they want to now use it to get work permit. Hey, Shapa is calling some people. I won't say more than that. So just be very careful. Like, those are some of the questions that they ask. Like, have you also come into Canada, and like, you can drop some of the questions that you were asked at your point of entry as well. You can drop it in the comments for other people to learn from. But it is from these few questions that they ask you that will now breed other questions. They will now start asking you, okay, what's your pay for the office, or what's the address of the company, or okay, what's the address of the Airbnb you plan to stay? They start asking you, okay, your hotel receipt, what do you plan on doing in those places? Why do you come with your family? You say you're a business person. What do you do as a business? I'm coming for visit, but I'm a business person back here in my home country. What do you do in your business? They start asking you all those kind of questions. So the questions actually fall from, when they've asked you like the standard questions and things are not aligning, then they ask you more questions to see more inconsistencies. This is all I have for you in this video that I just thought like quickly bring to your attention. If you have not watched any of my video, this one is one that you must watch, because things are not smiling, and before they will send you back, and all the money that you have spent will go and waste. I say, let me come and tell you, this is all I have for you in this video. Until I see you in my next video, thank you for sticking with me till this very point. Watch my other videos and stay blessed. Bye.